batsmen, Dias, then Mendes the skipper, Madhugali, Ranatunga, two De Silvas, De Mel, Ratnaika, and John the fast bowler announced as fit. He went through a fitness test in the nets, got through, and that was a great plus mark for the Sri Lanka team. That gives them a lot of confidence. England, with the same side, has played against West Indies in the final test and was announced here without a 12th man. Donald Topley will be the emergency fielder. So for Sri Lanka, a marvellous moment. Those other teams over the years have come here and then become forces in international cricket. I've no doubt that eventually Sri Lanka will do the same. David Gower won the toss this morning and no doubt thinking they'd be a little nervous in this debut match in England, decided to put them into bat. Here's the first over now. Jonathan Agnew is bowling and Vetamuni is taking straight.
It's a good shot. So Sri Lanka away, their first runs in Test match cricket in this country. And Vetamuni gets them off the mark with 2 runs.
And Vetamuni getting in a good position there, right over the top of it.
That's a good shot. Short, got onto it very quickly, cut it away for the first boundary. Four to Vetamuni. Fine shot, Tom.
Yes, a really fine shot. Got his back foot right across there. As soon as he saw it was short, look at that back foot going across and right down on top of it. Super shot.
He's away. That'll please him. It's towards the shorter boundary here today. It's pitch favouring the tough side. There's the toughen with the toughen boxes there. And the actual pitch, as you can see, very much favouring that side, which will leave an exceptionally long boundary up towards the grandstand. Not trying to play the hook either. Tries to bounce and he's hooked it away in very positive manner for 4 runs.
Oh, this is good stuff. Beautifully balanced and rolled with the wrists over the top of the short legs. What a good shot.
And he's given him this time. Both of them strikes, LBW, Silva. So 2 or 3 pretty good shots for him, but he'll be immensely disappointed. 17 for 1, Sri Lanka. And Silva, LBW 2, both of them for 8.
And this looked a pretty useful delivery. Swinging into him. Missed the front pad and hit the back one. And I don't think very much doubt about that.
Chase back there, full broad, 2 runs for the opener. So Vetamuni goes into double figures. He's on 10, 19, the score for the loss of Silva. He's placed that away nicely. That, as I mentioned before, is a very long boundary. Fowler every chance of cutting it off as a result, and they should settle for 3 here. It certainly would have been 4 on the other side, very comfortably. And Madhugali away once again in fine style. Shot that the Sri Lankan seemed to play pretty well.
Yes, no hanging about here. Very short, very wide. And although he got a bit of a top edge at it, it's hit well enough to go streaking to the boundary. Both of them coming in to continue from the nursery end. And an absolutely superb stroke there by Madagali. Went with the swing and really just pushed it. Wetimudi. Beautiful stroke.
That's well bowled by Richard Ellison. He'd been bowling the outswinger, and now he's castled Madagali with the one that comes back from just outside off stump. That's a very sensible and clever piece of bowling. Madagali bowled by Ellison.
And here it is. In fact, almost going straight on. And just flipped the back pad and hit the top of the off stump. I think it would have hit middle and leg, but for that. Good piece of bowling by Richard Ellison.
And dies us off the mark.
Wetimudi on 29. Pretty wide, but got the foot out. Has cracked it to extra cover, gives it 4 more. So the 50 up for Sri Lanka. Coming up in good time, only the 19th over.
That's a glorious shot, this, a little bit wide and swinging away, but he got right to it with the bat. His foot wasn't right there, but it was reasonably good and really went through it beautifully. A lovely finish there. You can see a tremendous finish here. It really goes through the line, keeps his left arm going there. Beautiful finish. 4 runs through the covers.
Certainly got some lift and bounce there. It didn't seem to be all that short either.
In fact, it was reasonably into his own half, but certainly a very quick delivery that, and got head high. And I know the West Indies felt that Agnew bowled pretty quick down at the Oval in the last Test match, and again showing there that he has a touch of genuine pace.
It's very neat, fine deflection. Bad delivery either. It just came back a shade off the pitch. Nice reaction piece of batting there by Wetimudi. Bat on it as it moved into him quickly. Really was a very wide, short ball. Flipped away for 4 more. And 47 now for Wetimudi. Good performance if he could make 50 here before lunch. Took a little bit of a chance this stage of the game, but it paid off in there and brought in 4 more. He's gone for his 50, and he's going to get it. Well, that's a sparkling performance from Siddharth Wetimudi. It's his 5th 50, and that doesn't include 100 in Test matches. It's going good time here, really, off 92 balls, 6 fours in it, and 51 out of 81 at the start of this innings is really an excellent performance.
Well, that was a hard, tough introduction for Sri Lanka. They lost those 2 early wickets, Silva and Madagali, for 8 and 5, respectively, to Botham and Ellison. Dias has battled away there to be 10 not out at lunch with the score at 81 for 2, but what a fantastic innings from Vetamuni, 51 not out. A really good effort that. Very, very strong square of the wicket on the offside. Not quite so strong off his pads, but a thoroughly impressive performance to start with. Here now is the second over after lunch. Paul Allett is the bowler. He's coming in to bowl to Roy Dias. Shot. Glorious stroke there from Roy Dias. Fowler. There's a stroke of class. Beautiful shot by Dias. And 100 comes up for Sri Lanka, just broad the fielder. Single to Vetamuni. And he's made 58 out of those 100 runs. It's the second time there's been a glorious stroke played out there by Dias, just picking up Ellison off his pads. First really risky single they've taken there.
Yes, you can watch this. A little bit of hesitation there. Come, go, don't. And no question he'd have been out easily if that ball had hit the stumps.
The runs are starting to flow now in this after-lunch period. Vetamuni this time.
Beautiful shot. Everything right there. Bent the front knee, leant into it, found the gut, raced away. It's 4 more.
Oh, shot of the day here. Very, very wide. He hit it on top of the bounds. Absolutely superb, that was.
Vetamuni keeping the strike now as both approaches. That could have been close. Lovely pick up there by Gower. Had to transfer the ball, of course. Just allowed the batsman that extra second.
Yes, marvellous piece of fielding by David Gower here. Ran across, picked it in the left hand, changed hands as he was turning and threw it all in one movement. And in actual fact, if he hit the wicket, it would have been very tight indeed.
Found the gap this time. Just pitched fractionally wide, and he's made few mistakes, this boy. So Pocock 7 overs for just 8 runs. It's 139 for 2 here.
A little bit of a lazy shot here, because he was trying to just run that, and he'd have been very annoyed with himself if he got out to that shot.
Very good square driver, Sidat Wetamuni. Lovely wristy strokes.
This was a marvellous shot. It really raced away to the boundary. Very wide, but he got right across to it and right over it. And tremendous shot, that.
Good catch too, low down. Roy Dias goes. Alan Lamb takes the catch. He's out for 32. Pocock takes his first wicket, and reward for Pocock there, because this is his 8th over, and he's had only 8 runs taken off him. He's bowled well.
Good piece of bowling this, Pat Pocock. A little bit slower, and he just brought the batsman forward to try and drive. He wasn't quite there. It carried up to mid-wicket there, but a very fine piece of bowling. He pushed a couple in, and then that was just a little bit slower. Just enough to get the batsman playing that a little bit earlier and not keep the ball down.
Take 2 there and go on to 98. 150 comes up for Sri Lanka, and a very good performance too. The loss of 3 wickets. Batsman out, Silva for 8, Madagali for 5, and Dias for 32. There it is. Agnew the fielder, and 100 for Sidat Wetamuni. 100 in his first appearance at Lord's. What a marvellous moment for him. He's made those runs out of only 154. Bad luck pigeon. It was certainly moving with plenty of pace when it got out to the boundary.
And not too much backlift, really crisp.
A bit unlucky there, Fowler. It's into the rough stuff there, the ends where the bowler's footmarks have been made. This is Jonathan Agnew's 11th over. Four more, beating Pocock down to 3rd man. A bit of extra pace there from Agnew compared with Botham. No ball, bowled just before tea, took it up to 173 for 3. Diced the man out for 32, and Ranatunga 12 not out. A magnificent knock from Wetamuni, 106, and unbeaten at the tea interval. Really great effort that in his opening test match at Lord's to come up with a century, and it wasn't just the figures in the book, it was the way he played. Tremendous knock, and everyone in Sri Lanka can be very proud of him. Here's the first over after the interval now. It's Jonathan Agnew coming in to bowl to Vedamuni.
That was a good shot too. Allison, the fielder, coming in from long leg. A slight worry there for Sri Lanka. Centurion. Might be a bit of cramp he's got, but I think Harold just had a look up to see, make sure the camera was on him. There's that famous Barnsley grin. Just managed to pull the bat out of that. It was a very useful delivery indeed to the left-hander.
Yes, no question. Jonathan Agnew seems to be bending the back a bit, and that went up the hill.
He's launched into that again. He's played two superb extra cover drives with 14. Now he's repeated it. Beautiful shot.
And this really is a tremendous stroke. Foot right to the pitch of the ball.
It's doubtful whether Vedamuni here will be able to use his feet at all to get to the pitch of he's a quite high-flighted off-spinner from Pocock. And at the moment, content just to lay the dead bat on it. That's a good shot. Tunga not to be fooled there by a bit of flight.
Yes, and just for once, Pat Pocock straying in line. A little bit short. Beautifully clipped away there. Yes, the wrong one to cut. The arm ball very nearly chopped it on.
Deflection there by Ranatunga. And Bertham's thrown 4 overthrows. I doubt very much if Pocock's going to be over-delighted about that. Botham's waving his arms around and suggesting that it was Pocock's fault. And extra runs there for Ranatunga. Brings up the 200 for Sri Lanka.
And these are the times, Richie, when, as captain, you wish you'd batted instead of put the opposition in.
Botham's after it. And it's safe.
goes again. Lovely square drive. Takes him on to 49. Isn't just a thing that's been over-pitched out in that direction here today.
Yes, another very fine shot. No great high backlift, but certainly a lot of power when he comes into contact and good follow-through.
It's one for his 50, and there it is. Change of direction, that very straight. Comes back for 3 runs, which takes him on to 52. What a very good 50 that has been for Ranatunga. A healthy round of applause too for him. 89 balls, that's all, and 6 fours included. Most of them excellent off and cover drives.
Well, that's a great effort by the Sri Lankans. Just 2 runs and 1 over later. Bad light stopped play. The total at 226 for 3. Vetamuni 116 not out. Ranatunga 54 not out, and he looked a good player. Played some glorious strokes away through extra cover. Very good driver, and also strong off his pads. The bowling figures for England, well, Pat Pocock, 22 overs, 12 maidens, 1 for 28, was easily the most outstanding bowler. Thought Ellison bowled quite well early on, 1 for 38. Both of them 1 for 54, Agnew none for 59. There it is. Agnew the fielder, and 100 for Siddharth Vetamuni. 100 in his first appearance at Lord's. Welcome to the highlights of the second day's play of the England-Sri Lanka Test match at Lord's. And what a great day the Sri Lankans had in their debut match here the first day. A tremendous performance from Vetamuni, 116 not out. Ranatunga 54 not out, and 226 for 3. Just about half an hour lost for bad light yesterday. A great performance that, and one they'll look back on with a great deal of pleasure and pride. Well, proceedings got underway on the second morning with Ian Botham taking the first ball of the match. Vetamuni is taking strike. And there's a nice start for Vetamuni. We could have played you one of the shots from yesterday, actually, with Botham running up to bowl, the wide half volley and the square drive from Vetamuni.
Well, I think he's in a bit of form.
Botham and Ellison each have got the kinks out of their muscles from yesterday's exertions. New ball taken, so they should be fresh and bouncy and able to give it everything. Very good stroke. Don't get the 2 there. Pocock is the fielder, and Vetamuni has this damaged muscle and cramp from yesterday. Goes a bump ball, although Gower looks disappointed. Looked as though he squeezed it into the ground, but we may be able to see more of that from the replay. No, I'd say it's a catch, and it went sharply to Gower, and just as sharply it went down. Only 2 slips for Richard Ellison, no gully for Vetamuni. He's gone for the total there. Away, had a dash at that.
He certainly did. It went a long, long way. In fact, he needed a long rest to get there.
Good partnership up. 216 balls faced. Majority of those runs made by Ranatunga. Well, I think I'd be more inclined with a second new ball to play 2 slips and 2 gullies. I'd increase the catching men there by 2, take away one of those defensive men on the offside, and one on the on. Ellison's bowling big out curves. And Vedamouni is constantly playing square of the wicket, just behind point, square through point, and in front. I would reckon you'd have a... In fact, it looks like Gow's coming across to add one to that cordon.
Yes, and I can't think that they need 3 saving singles on the offside. I think with this new ball, they've got to attack.
I'd leave in the third man for Vedamouni, play those 4 catches, which simply means taking away one of those defensive men on the offside. You should be able to cover that with 2 men to save the single.
Yes, this is absolutely right. It's such a good wicket that the new ball really is the only chance of making a breakthrough. So I think England really should be attacking that much more.
It's a good piece of fielding from Gower. He did put the left-hander Ranatunga down just a few moments ago, but a good save there. Plays much straighter Ranatunga than Vedamouni, straighter down the ground, that is, with his driving. And when he hits it, it's a good, crisp, well-timed stroke. 250 comes up. Still for only 3 wickets.
Well, a glorious stroke.
Do give it some stick when it's up there. Not really a half volley. Hit on the up. A real West Indian shot there.
It's a useful ball from Ellison there, and very well treated, in fact, by Ranatunga. Did well to keep that down.
Yes, Richard Ellison putting a little bit extra into this, and it bouncing. But very, very well played and kept down.
That's a good stop. Interesting over, in fact, there from Ellison. A little bit of movement, but how very well this left-hander coped with it. Angle the bat, made sure it was going down straight away.
Great stroke. It's been tested by the short pitcher earlier in this over. Gallagher, and he's played those well, and that was a beautiful stroke.
Yes, again in the usual area where it's off the front foot or the back foot. It's usually around about that point area. He got nicely on top of it and really cracked it away. And beautiful sideways position again he's in.
And still no joy for England there. The score 271 for 3 at lunch. Vedamouni 137 and Ranatunga 74. And that is a tremendous partnership. They really played well. Again, as yesterday, some glorious strokes all around the wicket. Vedamouni concentrating on that area, square of the wicket on the offside. We pick up play now in the 2nd over after lunch. 3 runs have been added. Paul Allett is the bowler, and Vedamouni is taking strike.
They're very straight, both these boys. Again, Vatimuni getting right in line there.
Yes, technically they are extremely good players. Head right behind the line of the ball there. Very, very straight pick up and follow through.
No, that one dropped short enough for him to play another very good shot, forced off the back foot. As soon as the bowlers have erred a little in length and direction, they've been quick to put it away.
Yes, there is no room for error on a wicket like this.
Four more. That's the launch. Wasn't by any means a hard volley once again. Lashed it through on the up. Again, the movement of the feet there was absolutely spot on. Position to push it away. That's gone through. So success then for Agnew, and well deserved too. Good delivery. It's the end of Ranatunga for 84, tying up a really substantial fourth wicket stand here, with Ranatunga going at 292 for 4.
And a well-deserved wicket this for Jonathan Agnew. Just coming down the hill a little and hit right at the top of that off stump, just knocking a bail off. It could so easily have gone over. But he played very, very well indeed, Ranatunga. 84. Marvellous performance from him on his first appearance in a test match at Lord's.
Well, the skipper's had a long wait.
So the captain about to take strike for the first time, Paul Allott. And a reflex hook. He didn't appear to look at it too much.
Well, if that rumour is around about his hooking, they've certainly decided to work on it, but he might make a few runs in the meantime before they get to him.
The skipper really being tested. He gets in a good position there. A very fine stroke indeed.
Keep that everything. .300 up for Sri Lanka. What a nice way to bring it up.
Well, he drilled that straight back like an absolute rocket. Hit it on the up again, rather like the one he hit through extra cover. And I think it hit Jonathan Agnew before he was ready.
He looks to me the sort of fellow who's going to be a blocker and a slasher. He might block 3 or 4 and then hit a couple of boundaries. And he's not to be taken lightly because he's already made a century in each innings of a test match against India.
It's a tremendous shot there. He doesn't get too far behind it, but he really gives it a whack.
Way through that gap between point and gully. 150 for Vetamuni. Well done. Vetamuni has strike. How close can we get to the tactics here, Ray? Do you think both of them might be about to bounce out Mendes?
Well, I don't know about to bounce him out. I think he might be certainly going to try. It could be quite interesting, this, I would imagine, if he has a go. The ball's got a little bit older. It's a very nice, easy-paced wicket, so the hook shot's certainly on.
.154 to Vetamuni, and that is a real milestone in the history of cricket. It's the highest score made by a batsman in his country's first test match in England.
There's another one. He's middle of this, all right. That's disappeared into the crowd for 6. Great shot. Everybody anticipating that would come, and most people knew the challenge would be taken.
And he gave this a fearful crack. He's certainly a strong little man, this Mendes, because that was above his head. And he did well really to middle that, but that really flew away into the stand.
That's it. Beautiful shot off the back foot by Sid Vetamuni. Takes him on to his best score in Test match cricket. 60 not out. They're an awful long time now. There he goes again. That could be 6 more. Indeed it is. Both of them having a few words to say now. He's already got 2 men out on that leg side boundary. He's shovelled that one away, and that's cleared the field of 2 for 6 more. Both of them having hard words there with David Gower. I think David Gower, in fact, should be having hard words with both of them. I don't really understand what he's complaining about the whole time. Kind of a man in the crowd to catch him. And he's larruped that one for 4 now. Vetimuni's turn to come into the action.
And this was a tremendous shot here. Wide and really cracked away on the up.
And that's 4 more. Over pitch, launched into it. Not quite a half volley either that time. .49 on the board for the captain. He faces Ellison. It's good backing up by Vetamuni. So the single there to Dilip Mendes brings him a most attractive 50. Been a real joy to watch.
Just the one success in that session, with Agnew bowling Ranatunga for 84 A great performance that from Vetamuni to be 173 at tee on the second day. And Mendes, the skipper, well, when he came in, we said, after he played a few strokes, he looks the sort of fellow who'll give us a tremendous amount of enjoyment this afternoon. And that's exactly what he did. 52 not out, and he's made them in quick time. 370 for 4 at tee. Well, the players came out after tee, but they were only able to stay out there for 14 balls before bad light forced them off the field. We pick up play now with a score of 386 for 4. Jonathan Agnew is the bowler, and he's bowling to the skipper, Mendes. It's a great shot. Neither of the two men behind square knew where it went. He waited on it. It came off a little slower than some of the others. He waited on it and just helped it on its way. Pocock at third man. Well, I thought Pocock would be the very first man not to bowl out there. He hasn't bowled when conditions have been good. Now he's going to bowl when the ball is greasy. Require a lot of expertise to bowl well in these conditions. Short leg asked, but the bowler didn't go up until after the appeal came from Botham. Great stroke. Mendes is very severe on anything that's short. For that matter, he's very severe in anything that's well up as well. 400 comes up. What a great moment for Sri Lanka that they should pass the 400 mark for only 4 wickets. Trouble here. Taveray, the man out at mid-on. And he needed a decent throw, and the partnership was broken. Down the ground, and that is a very, very good hit. Not even certain it was over-pitched. Mendes cottoned onto it, smashed it away through mid-off. Indeed, it wasn't. It was, if anything, just short of a good length. He hit it on the up. Single to Pocock. Down at third man.
Both of them back in the attack to Mendes. Mendes now on 94. Short, hammered away through mid-wicket. So Mendes goes on to 98. To Mendes, both on the bowler. Crashed away, be looking for 2 here. The 1 through quickly, and there it is. What a fine 100 this has been. Juliet Mendes back appraised, and what a moment for him. 100 out of 434 for 4. Some magnificent shots have included 3 big sixes all off Botham and 10 fours. And the light shines brightly in the gloom here at Lord's.
Indeed, it is a great moment for Mendes and for Vetamuni, 2 men making a century in their debut test match at Lord's. And what a great moment it'll be for all the Sri Lankan cricket followers away back home. 434 for 4 when bad light stopped play towards 7 o'clock on the second day. And for England, I'm afraid, no joy at all. Agnew won for 106. Botham won for 114. Some severe treatment there for the great all-rounder. Ellison won for 70, and I was very impressed with Pocock again today. He didn't bowl much, and he had to do it with a wet ball for most of the time. 1 for 52 in 30.
Finished the morning at 491 for 7 declared. Quite an eventful start to the day. In the remaining 4 hours and 20 minutes, England, of course, setting themselves to save the match, scored 139 for 2. Chris Broad has been there all the time, 69. Gower is 16 not out. All this on a pitch of surpassing ease against a mild-looking Sri Lankan attack. So at any rate, it didn't add up to festive fare for the largest crowd of the match on a sunny afternoon. And we have to say that Chris Tabaret, dropping anchor, as we know he can do on these occasions, managed 14 runs in 2 hours and 18 minutes.
No, I think it was disappointing because if the players are out there enjoying it, this transmits it over to the crowd and it comes back to the field and everybody enjoys it a lot more. And I'm sure it didn't look like too many people were enjoying it out there in the last few hours today.
Sri Lanka advanced, in fact, to their highest ever score in Test match cricket, and of course the 2 not-outs were Vetamuni and the captain, Juliet Mendes. Vetamuni lasted about half an hour plus this morning, and then he was picked up by Allott, who bowled well in harness with Pat Pocock.
Yes, in fact, he got quite a little bit of bounce there, and that was a good delivery. In fact, Paul Allott and Pat Pocock, in fact, bowled very well that first hour because Sri Lanka were wanting to get on top, wanting to dominate, and yet Mendes could only make about 10 runs in an hour, and really these two did a very, very good job. And if England had bowled as well as this throughout the innings, you don't really see Sri Lanka making 491 for 7.
The highest ever score made in a first test in this country against England. The highest for Sri Lanka in tests, an innings he'll never forget. And what a reception he got from one and all. 190.
You can see it from the nursery end, and good line, just that little bit of bounce. He tried to hit it through his favourite area where he's got hundreds of runs in this innings, and it just got that little bit big on him, a slight outside top edge, and Paul Downton did the rest.
442 for 5, and it was obvious that the captain had his eyes on something around 500. In fact, the bowling did restrict Juliet Mendes a bit today, didn't it?
Yes, I think he was looking for 500 just after 12 o'clock, and then give us 45 minutes or so batting before lunch. The fact that they couldn't get anywhere near that at 12 o'clock was all credit to the England bowlers.
Right then, here we go. Let's see how the captain departed for a good Nelsonian score, as we say, 111.
Well, again, this was just in the right place, and he gave it a fair old whack. Didn't quite get enough height, and Graham Fowler there got a very good catch a yard from the edge. But he gave it a fair good whack, and as he has done throughout his whole innings. He's played some tremendous shots with a lot of power, and certainly last night it was tremendously entertaining when he was making his 100. And here again is going for the big hit, which was the right thing to do, to get as many runs as he could as quick as possible this morning. And he threw his wicket away there in an effort to do that.
And a very good catch by Graham Fowler, 456 for 6. And time perhaps to say that D.S. De Silva, the leg spinner, 40 plus, injured an ankle at the nets yesterday and was hors de combat and wasn't fit to bat, and we thought maybe he wouldn't be able to bowl. That, in fact, proved to be a false estimate. But we saw some good strokes hereabouts from the other De Silva. Agnew came on and went twice, didn't he, through extra cover with half volleys in his opening over.
Yes, the good length, which he coming up off the back foot, both very, very good shots. I think the great thing about the Sri Lankan side is that everybody can bat, and whoever's done the coaching there looks to have done a pretty good job because they are very correct indeed.
Yes, they all pick the bat up straight and they all play in the V, don't
Very, very good indeed. We haven't seen them against anybody exceptionally quick like some of the West Indian bowlers, but certainly on this particular wicket and against England, they've all looked very good players indeed.
Another word about the England bowling this morning?
Well, as I say, Pat Pocock has bowled well throughout this match. I don't know his finishes figures, but he bowled a lot of overs for very few runs.
Let's see the last wicket of the morning then. The last Sri Lankan wicket, that's to say.
Well, a little bit unlucky here because when you're playing the ball that's going down the leg side, to get caught behind is just that little bit unlucky. But Paul Agnew, John Agnew was bowled fairly well, and a little bit for luck for here, which makes up for some of the good deliveries he's bowled and got nothing. You see it now from the nursery end again. It's just slanting down the leg side. It doesn't do anything. His bat's away from the body, so it can only be the bat that it's touched. And correct decision from umpire Dickie Bird.
And any batsman will say it's a rotten way to get out.
Well, it's a terrible death, but
that's right. 464 for 7, and so they went on, in fact, until the declaration came at 491 for 7 at around 12:30, which left England with 20 minutes to bat before lunch.
Yes, correct decision by the captain here. 2 cracks with a new ball, and just that awkward 20 minutes or so for the England batsman.
Just before we talk about England, Ray, let's go back to a well-struck blow from De Mel. They can all bat, these Sri Lankans.
Yes.
I know you pundits are very impressed.
Well, again, this is the real slog at the off-spinner, but of course that's what they had to do at this stage, and Pat Pocock bowled it just right for him. You can see it again here. Goes down the wicket and doesn't quite get there, but you don't do that if you're going to hit a 6. And he gave it the full value right into the tavern.
So there it was, the declaration, as I say, at 491 for 7, and we'll just see the check on that. There we are, 491 for 7. Mendes 111, Vetimuni 190, and we'll roll through, no doubt, to the bowling. And not too good reading there, Ray. 2 for Agnew, 1 for Botham, 1 for Ellison, 2 for Pocock. Very good figures, 41 overs, 2 for 75, 1 for 89. Right, well, the England reply, 292 was the target they set themselves to save the follow-on, and certainly a target that they would feel was well within their compass on this pitch. It started off quite sprightly, didn't it?
Yes, in fact, John didn't bowl particularly well before lunch. He had a few full tosses, which Graham Fowler dispatched, as he always does with the bad ball, and that got us off to a brisk start. And things like, oh, well, we're going to have a good, entertaining afternoon, but I'm afraid things changed a bit after lunch.
Right, Fowler, in fact, went to a very good, sharp catch.
Yes, this was a little bit of Graham Fowler's fault. He doesn't play with the bat from wicketkeeper to the bowler. He pushes the bat out a bit towards point, following the ball, and he does it again here. You can see this, the bat actually goes towards point rather than back down the wicket. There you are, you see. And really, the ball can only go one way, and that's got to be somewhere through the slip scully area. And if you don't keep it down, you're out.
49 for 1, and 49 was, in fact, the total number of runs that England managed in the second session of the day between lunch and tea. Things after the departure of Fowler became almost totally becalmed. Broad played quite well off his legs, didn't he, but looked a bit fallible outside the off stump.
Yes, well, I think throughout the series, everybody's, the West Indies says Chris Boyce played very well off his legs, but he is vulnerable just outside off stump. Having said that, I do believe he has improved during the series against the West Indies, but you just feel that we could have been a little bit more positive and got a few more runs.
Here's a lucky escape for Broad on 47. Hits it to the other De Silva, not the leg spinner, who in fact bowled 10 very good overs. He was fit enough to bowl 10 overs, 1 for 18. That's the other De Silva who put Broad down there.
You can see it more or less went straight in, and a very comfortable catch, but unfortunately for the bowler, down it went.
And finally then to Chris Tabaret, who we know can whack it round the park in a one-day affair.
Well, he's a Jekyll and Hyde character, this, because I've seen him whack it around, and when you see him in this mood, I don't think he does the crowd or himself any good playing like that.
Well, he had a whack, in fact, when he got out, and it was the leg spinner, D.S. De Silva, who accounted for him.
This is probably the one real forcing shot that he tried to play. He didn't quite get there, dragged a bit across it, and just hit it straight down mid on his throat. And I think when you've been playing so long without scoring, it's very difficult to suddenly change gear and then try and hit the ball. And I think this is probably what the case was here. You can see he just dragged across it. If it had been hitting the ball from the word go, he'd probably hit that back over the bowler's head or over mid-off.
14 then in 2 hours and 18 minutes, and the final score was 139 for 2. And there's no doubt in my mind, Ray, or I'm sure in yours, that England ought to save this match on this pitch.
Yes, it's a very, very good pitch indeed, and if they don't make at least 300 in the first dig, then really we have battered pretty badly on there.
I think that's fair to say. Right.
This fourth day's play of the Cornhill Test match at Lord's, a day that began with England in trouble. Sri Lanka 491 for 7, and in reply, England 139 for 2. The batsman out on Saturday in what was a very slow afternoon's play. Fowler for 25 and Tavares for 14. Broad is 69, Gower 16. And the match situation is that England begin the day 352 runs behind. Now they need to go out there today and bat with considerably more confidence than they did on Saturday. We start proceedings now in the very first over. Vinothan John is the bowler and David Gower, the skipper, is taking strike. And 2 to go. Ravi Ratnayake, the man down at long leg. Fielder at gully is Marlon van Hart. 2 slips, Madagula is at second and Vetamuni at first. Mel is at deep third man. Beautiful stroke.
Beautiful footwork here. Back foot right across there. Perfect square cut.
It's good cricket. Nicely judged run. Last ball of the over. Gower started off a little bit creakily, although he'd had quite a decent go in the nets this morning, but he's just starting to look to be in form. Be a lovely addition to this match if he were to make 100 and run himself right back into form. Can't get that. Diaz de Silva was the fielder, and he moved after that well enough. In fact, he's limping more in the slower paces, going back to the starting stalls, than when he was chasing it.
But short, pulled away in great style by Gower. Fine shot there.
Lovely shot from David Gower. Very short. Beautifully balanced.
Through this time. Just pulled up by Ratnayake, but the 3 runs there. Still another 126 required to save the follow-on. Should be accomplished without any real bother. It's not quite time, but he's found the gap. That's the useful thing about it. It's made for the shot, and Gow's the man to finally put it away.
Yes, beautiful shot this.
Gow on 40 now. Another one for him to stroke away at his will on the offside. And Ratnaika really has got to give it a fuller length. That's a better shot. Can't find the right length there. Short ones followed by half volley, and Chris Broad doing everything right there. Foot to the pitch of the ball, found the gap quite beautifully.
And certainly the best shot Chris Broad has played in this innings. Lovely straight drive, that.
It's a beautiful cut shot. Not for 3 here.
Yes, a nice cut there just behind point. The ball running away for 3, and certainly if we're going to be entertained today, there's nobody better than David Gower to do it.
Wasn't a half volley. It's a good shot. Ball on the up. That's the strength of Chris Broad. He's been waiting for something round about leg stump. Should be 3 more here for him.
Yes, Chris Broad might miss a few just outside off stump, but he doesn't miss too many on that leg and middle leg stump, and he dispatched that as usual through mid-wicket very well indeed.
That's a great catch. That's one he'll remember for a long, long time. DeMille has taken the wicket, and a magnificent catch by Amal Silva. Broad is gone.
Yes, just a bit wide was this, and it went a bit wider still, and I imagine Chris Broad will be a bit disappointed there, missing 100, getting out to delivery like that, but certainly a very fine catch.
Indeed it was. He had a long way to go. He's been doing his exercises out there this morning, young Amal Silva, just like Alan Knott, and I think Knotty would have been proud to take a catch of that quality. And Chris Broad out for 86. Caught Silva, bowled DeMille. 190 for 3 now, with Gower having gone on to 46. Long shot. David Gower goes to 50. He was 16 when he started this morning. He's played some very good-looking strokes. 197 for 3 with Gower 50 and Lamb 2. Nice shot by Alan Lamb. That's a confidence builder as far as he's concerned. Sri Lankan supporters out there Quite lively with their voices this morning. Well, nice shot. That's lovely timing from Gower. It won't go for 4, but a beautiful piece of batting. And some nice shots there from David Gower to be 55 not out at lunch. Alan Lamb 10. He hasn't really started to play strokes yet, but Gower was looking to be in pretty good form. 210 for 3 at lunch, England, and looking very much better today than they did on Saturday. They have a problem, though, because straight after lunch, the new ball will probably be taken by the skipper of Sri Lanka, Dulip Mendes. No runs had been scored when David Gower took strike in the second over after lunch. The bowler is Asante Demel.
Well, bit of a lackadaisical shot there after lunch by David Gower. That's well bowled and beautifully caught. Off goes Gower, another catch for the keeper. A very good delivery there from Demel. A little bit of movement, just catching the outside edge, and that's a very early and good break for Sri Lanka. 210 for 4 with the England skipper gone for 55.
And what a good delivery. Straight after lunch, that one going across David Gower, just up the hill, and hitting quite high on the bat.
And here's Ian Botham. And getting extremely good reception from this bank holiday crowd. Well, if Sri Lanka could get rid of Botham here early, they would really be on top of the world. That's Demel to bowl to him. And he savaged that away straight away. Short one, 4 runs. And it's beautifully caught. That fooled everybody. Botham looking to turn that leg side. Finishes up with the sub there, taking a magnificent catch in the gully. And he looks completely perplexed about it. 218 for 5. What an afternoon this has been for Sri Lanka so far. Gower and Botham in quick succession, Botham gone for 6.
In fact, this is a good delivery. You can see that's opened Ian Botham out, and a fine catch in the gully, but that ball went up the hill. Ian Botham playing it down on the leg side, and a superb catch.
Well, goes down as a chance, a very difficult one there, with Ellison on the mark. It's a good shot, 4 runs. Nice half volley on the leg stump. It was the shot of a good player, that. There's more runs here. Just flicked away again off his legs. That's the shorter of the 2 boundaries. And good work out there by Ranatunga, flicking it back for Ratnayaka. He too has stroked it away very convincingly. That's good 4 runs. And Big John just losing a little in length and direction in that over. Found the gap this time very safely, very surely for 4 runs.
Alan Lamb really beginning to show his class. It wasn't really a half volley. He just pushed very firmly through the line of the ball. Timed it perfectly. Yes, great disappointedness for Sri Lanka. Alan Lamb driving there, and really speaking, I think you've got to say that was first slip's catch.
Good shot. Ellison's played some really good-looking strokes out there. Way down on the boundary. So Ratnayaka. Through to Ellison.
That's through. That'll be 4 runs. Any ball struck with any sort of power over there, beating the fielder. Certain to go for 4 down to that top boundary. Flighted that, give it a bit more air, and it's beautifully struck wide and mid-on by Ellison. Long chase there for Dulip Mendes, but all to no avail.
This is a fine shot. Slightly slower ball, but he got in a very good position and hit it through mid-wicket there with perfect timing to the longest part of the ground.
And it's Ratnayaka to bowl to Ellison. That's a single which will save any worries about a follow-on. So applause for England. 292 for 5 they are, and the follow-on has been safely avoided. That's it. Safely away. They'll come back for 2 and make it into 3. Well, a good accomplished innings from Alan Lamb. He goes on to 52 now. Out of England, total of 295 for 5. Like it a Lamb. They're away down to 3rd man with 2 in this to bring up 300 for England. So 300 for 5 always looks a pretty good score. But facing something nearer 500, there's still a long way to go.
That's a splendid partnership between Alan Lamb and Richard Ellison. Lamb 55 not out and Ellison 37. I was very impressed with Ellison there. Even though he was missed once, he showed good temperament. It was most necessary that he stay there with Lamb until that follow-on chance was averted. 300 for 5. Then we pick up play in the 2nd over after tea. The bowler is leg spinner D.S. De Silva. 5 runs have been added, and taking strike is Richard Ellison. In the air, safely held. Ratnaika takes the catch. De Silva the wicket. It's his second, and Ellison has gone for 41. And De Silva thoroughly deserved that. Just giving Ellison the chance with the slower, higher toss delivery. Caught Ratnaika, bowled De Silva, 41. And a chase there for Mumtaz Yusuf, the 12th man. First time he's touched the ball, and it has to be retrieved from the boundary.
David in very pensive, thoughtful mood there. Felt a little sorry for him today. He was going quite well. Touch of the old Gower till he got out. So refreshed. Here comes De Mel. Short and hooked away. Great shot this by Gower. 6 runs by Gower, by Lam, of course. And the first 6 of the England innings, taken a long time in coming, but it was a beautiful shot. And he's gone. So it's on the wicket for De Mel. Easily caught there at mid-wicket. And it's 3:54 for 7.
I think you got that, Jim, without any trouble, but was trying to pick it up over mid-wicket and didn't quite hit high enough up the bat. A little bit at the bottom of the bat and just lobbed into mid-wicket's hands.
It's Paul Allott on his way out at 3:54 for 7. Oh, first baller. So De Mel's on the hat-trick. Allott a long ways in the pavilion. He went back instead of forward. And over they went for naught, first ball. 3:54 for 8 now.
De Mel figures there, 4 for 102 in 33, and that's pretty good bowling on this wicket.
And 3 slips, couple of short legs, to the mid-off, hat-trick ball, De Mel to Pocock. And applause for the bowler, relief all round. And 4 wickets now for De Mel, 2 coming in that over, 4 for 102 off 34 overs. 354 for 8.
And he's off the mark. Well, Alan Lamb has managed to stay with him whilst that's been achieved. It is thoroughly well-deserved 100. A very good innings, his 4th century of the season in 6 test matches. And that is a terrific performance. And Roy Dias has caught Alan Lamb at mid-wicket. The Northern John has just run up and loosened up with one that pitched not quite in his own half, but thereabouts. And the first hit Alan Lamb has had with Pat Pocock's bat has gone straight down Roy Dias's throat. Well, the shout came for... Yes, he's given Pocock out. Umpire David Evans. Great catch. No question it carried, although it was a close thing. Well, Pat Pocock might have waited there for a bit, but umpire David Evans and the man at square leg, Harold Bird, had absolutely no doubt about that dismissal. Well, who would have thought at the end of the 4th day of this Cornhill Test match that Sri Lanka would have a lead of 121 runs over the great England side. They've been playing cricket for a long time over here at Test match level. Sri Lanka's first Test match in this country, and they made 491 for 7 and bowled out England for 370. 107 to Alan Lamb, a super innings that, quite different from the 300s he made against the West Indies. Ellison played really well, Downton stuck around for a while, and Pocock got off the mark. And for Percy Pocock, a very popular Surrey off-spin bowler, that was a great moment. 370 and some splendid performances there from the Sri Lanka bowlers. De Mel 4 for 110, John 4 for 98, and Dias de Silva, the leg spinner, 2 for 85. And that gives Sri Lanka an overall lead of 121 runs. A tremendous performance from them, and once again, everyone in Sri Lanka can be completely proud of the way they've played their cricket, whether it's with their batting, bowling, or in the field, where occasionally they were quite superb today. Alan Lamb was the star for England. They needed a big innings from him once David Gower had gone, and he played really well. And he talked just after the match with Peter West. Sri Lanka were 121 runs ahead at the start of play. Sri Lanka 491 for 7 declared, and then they bowled out England for 370. Conditions, as they had been for most of this match, absolutely perfect when the players took the field this morning. We pick up play now in the second over of the morning. Paul Allett is the bowler. He's bowling to Vetamuni, the man who made 190 in the first innings, and 5 runs have already been taken from the first over from Agnew.
Consequently, there's plenty of gaps on the leg side. Spinner Pocock could turn his arm over quite a bit, one feels here today on this pitch. I think there's a problem here for Paul Allett. He was coming in very carefully on that last ball there. And certainly a suspicion of a slight limp there. So he's beating a very hasty departure now after just 10 minutes play here this morning, having bowled just a single over. Another beautiful shot, feet in the right position, clipped away. And the first boundary of the innings. What a good shot it was, Tom.
They're beautifully correct, these Sri Lankan batsmen. Back foot right behind the line of the ball. Perfect balance there.
And the shot repeated, a little finer this time. On the board. Well, he's picked up an awful lot of runs down there. Square of the wicket on the offside. It's been a favourite spot for him off the bowling of Botham. And beautifully caught. So Botham strikes, Vetamuni goes. And a very useful delivery there from Botham. Caught Betty Mooney trying to push it on the onside, bowled him 2 or 3 in swingers. That one cut away. And the first man's out with 19 on the board. And yet another milestone there for Ian Botham with the departure of Betty Mooney. That equals Fred Truman's haul of Test wickets. His 307th wicket in Test cricket. Another no ball. There should be 3 runs here. Well, there he is. It's his 307th wicket for IT Botham. 73 tests. So he picks them up at well over 4 wickets a match. Oh, well bowled. Beauty. It's Botham's morning so far. A bit of irregularity there about the run-up. But it finished up another excellent delivery. And Madagali goes, bowled by Botham.
This certainly looks a useful delivery. Coming up the hill and hitting right at the top of that off stump.
So Botham goes ahead of Truman now in the Test match wickets, 308. And that's a little bit unlucky, I suppose. Was another no ball. Caught the outside edge, and it's 4 more again on his analysis.
Good shot. Dasher indeed.
That's the right word, Richie. He's a real thriller if anything's anywhere near. He has a real go at it. Another slashing cover drive and another no ball.
Actually, you can also see that he's being penalised for an indiscretion of about ½ an inch or 3/4 of an inch there, which doesn't say very much for the law itself. It's a chase for Donald Topley. To Roy Dyers. 50 comes up for Sri Lanka in their second innings. Loss of 2 wickets, 23 to Silver. Dyers now 4. It'll be quite nice to be able to look at that again, because it's going to be very close to the perfect drive through extra cover.
Runs there, nobody at mid-on. Chase for Listen. Scott got the speed to save the 4. It's 3 comfortable runs for Roy Dyers. Again, struck very nicely through mid-on. It's going to beat them both for 4 runs. Roy Dice played this on drive pretty well here this morning. Ellison again. Again, it's good on drive. Other side of mid-on this time. No chance of stopping that. A long way down to that nursery end in the far corner. 81 for 2 sees Sri Lanka 200 ahead now. It's a good shot. Waited for it, chopped it away down to a third-man boundary for 4 runs.
2 more overs, in the course of which 2 runs were scored to take the lunchtime total up to 93 for 2. Vedamuni for 13 and Madagula for 3, the men out. Silva 39 and Roy Dias looking to be in good form, 27 not out. Both of them, the man taking the wickets there, striking again once Allett had been injured. And we pick him up now, bowling the first ball after lunch. Roy Dias is taking strike. There's 4 more.
Well, what a way to start the afternoon session. A beautiful shot, this.
Donald Topley, 12th man. 100 up for Sri Lanka. 40 to Silva, 33 to Roy Dias. Good shot, 4 runs. Beautiful stroke from Amal Silva. Jonathan Agnew at deep fine leg.
Well, the bouncer has ceased to become a surprise delivery.
It's a delightful stroke, and there's no way the man at deep fine leg can cut that off. He only had some 30 yards to run. It's a beautiful stroke from Dias. Close and closer than that even. Both of them has got him.
Never any doubt about this at all. Just outside the off stump. Seemed a little bit late on it to me.
Great shot. Very severe on anything that's pitched up, Silva. And he goes now to his half-century. There've been a lot of landmarks for the individual players in this match. Centuries to Vedamuni and Mendes, now 50 to Silva. Arjuna Ranatunga. Yes, gone. Ranatunga's not too delighted about it. Still not delighted about it.
And here. He's gone a little way forward, but not very far.
Aravinda De Silva is the new batsman. 115 for 4, and Silva at the other end is 50 not out. No third man now. There is the fielder. Three to Silva.
And he's not out. Yes, he's out. A long, long delay there before the umpire's finger finally went up. Heartbreaking minute there for Pat Pocock. He thought he was going to give him not out. At the outside edge as Aravinda De Silva pushed forward and Downton takes the catch.
And a mini collapse here. See how that bat has been opened to run it down. Instead of playing with the full face, he's opened the bat, opened the face to run it down, and Dickie Bird just leaning across to his right.
Captain had dropped himself down the order. And a chance to one or two of the younger players, but he's coming in now at number 7, Dilip Mendes. Lofted drive, over the top of mid-off. It's a good shot.
Well, the captain certainly doesn't hang around.
Nice firm stroke by Mendes. He has shoulder trouble and in fact was off the field for a time yesterday. It doesn't seem to have affected him too much out there. Good shot. Super shot. It's a no ball. It's a cracking shot. Pocock to Mendes. It's a great blow. A very, very powerful striker of the ball.
And Mendes certainly uses his wrists at the last minute when he makes contact with the ball. He really gives it a tremendous whack.
Silva's still playing his shots. And that little bit of extra pace in the last yard or two just does it once again for him. And it's 4 more. Ellison again. That's the one he wanted. Single to Dilip Mendes. Brings him yet another 50. Excellent effort, full of good strokes. It's taken him only 65 balls, and he's given these spectators something to remember him by. He swung right away, didn't let a fearful crash through mid-wicket for 4. And Richard Ellison's turn to be made to suffer here now. That's one, it's gone up to Fowler again, and it's just cleared him. Just a touch over the top of the head, but it's 6 runs. That's exactly the manner in which he fell in the first innings, but just got that extra little bit of beef behind it this time. And there's plenty of beef there.
And here it goes, the full treatment.
Jim will level with Silva, 83 apiece, after giving him 50 start. Seems we've got a runner coming out now. That's, obviously looks as though it is Cramp. He's gone for a big hoik again, and he's made it. That's a good hit. 6 runs. It's a bold, brave shot at this stage. Takes him into the 90s.
He could easily push his way to 100 now without very much trouble at all against the off-spinners of Ian Botham. But he's carrying on playing his shots and really giving us some fine entertainment. But he's chipped that one up in the air, and Botham strikes again. Well, well, well. Port Fowler, bowled Botham, 94.
The wicket taker, Ian Botham. And Mendes is unlikely to have anything much easier than Ian Botham's off-spinners. Well off the mark. Another wicket for Botham. Richard Ellison is the man out at long off. Botham's off spin strikes again. 276 for 7 now.
Well, another nice lobbed up delivery, which the batsman kindly lobbed into long off sands. No trouble at all. Straight in.
Now, Silva has struck Fowler. And that's his 100. His runner. De Silva goes through. They'll take 2 runs. Amal Silva, the wicketkeeper, goes to 101. Ratnaika is 3. It's 289 for 7. After Amal Silva's century, 102 not out, he finished. 5 more runs were added to take the total up to 294 for 7, at which point Mendes declared. That was at 5:20 in the afternoon. The other not out batsman, Ratnaika, was on 7. A splendid innings that by the Sri Lankan captain for 94. He played some glorious strokes again to go with his 100 in the first innings, but unlucky to miss out in the second on making another 3 figures. But a fine performance from Silva, because that was also his maiden first-class century. The bowling figures for England, Ian Botham, what a performer. 6 for 90, 4 of them bowling fast and 2 bowling off-spin. 27 overs, 6 maidens, 6 for 90, the 24th occasion for England in which he has taken 5 wickets in an innings. The match, well, a triumph for Sri Lanka, 491 for 7 and 294 for 7. England, 370, the match drawn. Well, a tremendous performance that from the Sri Lankans, and particularly from their captain, Dulip Mendes. I reckon he'd be a very, very happy man at the way things have turned out, and everyone back in Sri Lanka can also be very happy. He and David Gower talked with Peter West at the end of the match.
You must be very proud of the good cricket played here by your side.
Yes, certainly. I'm very proud of my side, and they performed really well. We never expected this to happen, but I think they performed very well.
David, what would you like to say about the Sri Lankan performance?
Well, they've obviously done themselves proud, as you say. They've come across not expecting to win, not being expected to win by anyone in this country, really, and they've proved that they can play some very good cricket. We found we had a very good pitch there, which unfortunately I gave them first use of. Right, took full advantage.
You had 11 players only, no flexibility on the morning of the match. 4 seamers and 1 spinner. Humid morning, it seemed natural, no doubt, to put them in first.
Well, it wasn't totally natural. It wasn't that an easy decision to make. It was obviously under the assumption that the ball would swing a bit, and it didn't, so it rather fell flat, I'm afraid.
Julie, one last word. I'd like to keep David for one extra word. You must feel that you've made your point, and the next time you come back for a short tour, you're going to get 3 test matches.
Yeah, I think that's tremendous, because 3 test matches will do a lot of good for Ceylon cricket.
You've done a lot of good already here. Thanks very much indeed. Glad to go and celebrate with your boys. David, thanks a lot, Julie. David, can I have an extra word with you? You've had quite a year, haven't you? I mean, you captained in Pakistan, you took on the captaincy, you made 2 big hundreds, everything went well. Then you got food poisoning, was it? Blood poisoning.
Blood poisoning, yes.
Blood poisoning.
Wasn't the best.
Fire and brimstone. A lot of people had this sympathy with you during the West Indies test. And the last thing you wanted to happen here was to be on the wrong end of this.
Well, yes, I said just now we were expected to win this, so we were expected certainly to have the upper hand. And in that respect, I suppose we let ourselves down a bit, we've let the public down who were expecting that. It's been one of those summers, which is the understatement of all time.
How do you react to the fierce criticism that you and the England team have had in the media, particularly for the batting performance on Saturday, when it was suggested in one paper that your fee of £1,500 might be withheld with justice?
Yeah, so we tend to ignore things like that. It's obviously when things don't go well. The obvious thing is to criticise or complain a bit. Hopefully it's constructive. And you obviously don't expect to get praise for doing things not very well. I suppose Saturday was disappointing as much for us as for the people watching. Mainly because 2 players that were in there weren't really finding their touch. When things happen like that, it is unfortunate, and it doesn't reflect well on anyone, but simply when people are out of touch like that, it makes it very hard for them to push it along.
What about the out cricket? How do you react again to criticism that you're a bit too laid back and casual, and that you let things drift?
But I've had that criticism ever since I started playing first-class cricket, and previously it's been applied only to my batting. Now that it's been applied to captaincy as well, all I can say is the same thing, namely that what goes on inside my head is obviously far more than people appreciate. And we all have our own styles, our own ways of life. I think it'd be possibly a mistake, or it would be acting if I changed now.
And just how difficult is Ian Botham to captain? Again, suggestions you can't get him off when he's bowling, and that he tends to run the ship. Now, what do you want to say about
again,
that?
it's very easy to try and make these statements or sitting 100 yards away. And I've got a lot of time for Ian, especially when he's bowling well and batting well. He's an interesting man to captain, as much as he can be doing so well one moment, and then he perhaps lets you down a bit. He still bowls a few half volleys or something which make it look a lot worse. But I've been basically happy the way it's gone. I've taken him off when I wanted to take him off. There have been times when he said no, but I've had to. And times when he said yes, I'll carry on, and I haven't minded at all.
Well, I think you're due for a change of fortune in India this winter.
Well, we always say the wheel of fortune keeps moving, so as long as it keeps moving up now for the winter, I'll be happy.
You've got to be an optimist at this game, haven't you?
Yes, it's sometimes a bit of a strain, but we keep trying.
Well, there's no doubt David Gower deserves a little bit of good fortune. That wheel might be going to turn his way in India and then down in Australia in early 1985. One of the men he was talking about there, Ian Botham, today turned in another splendid performance for England, taking 5 wickets in an innings yet again, and pushed himself up ahead of 2 other bowlers in the list of world's leading wicket takers. Botham now 312, Gibbs 309, and Truman 307 are the ones he went past. Now Botham in undisputed 3rd place behind Lilly and Willis, and he'll pass Dennis Lilly at some stage. He only has to keep on playing. And bear in mind also that Botham has scored over 4,000 runs. That is a tremendous performance from a great all-rounder, and his strike rate